Hello, St. Joseph's, and welcome to the final edition of Saturdays with the Seminarian. That's right, this is the last one. My time here at St. Joseph's is at an end. I'll spend a few weeks with my family, so you might still see me around at Mass and such. But otherwise, I am on vacation with my family for a little bit, and then I will head back to Rome for my third year of theology, meaning at the start of next summer I will, God willing, be ordained a deacon. So please pray for me, and I just wanted to say thank you for hosting me this summer. I know it's a bit of an unusual summer. Didn't get to see many of you in person, but hopefully this video series and the bulletin articles have been helpful, have been a good way to start this year of the Eucharist, and have increased your understanding of the Mass and of the Eucharist. And I know it's been unusual, but I've been really grateful to have been able to spend my summer here and just kind of try to do ministry as best I can in this time of the coronavirus. So hopefully some of it bears fruit. And if what I've talked about in these videos or in my bulletin articles has at all interested you in learning more about the Mass, I highly recommend this book, What Happens at Mass, by Jeremy Driscoll. If you don't know, Jeremy Driscoll is the abbot down at Mount Angel, which is where I did my first 2 years of seminary, and he is a really, really smart and intelligent man. But this book is really great because it's really accessible without being overly simplistic. He does a great job at explaining the Mass in language that anyone can appreciate. One of my Bible professors used to say about the Bible that the Bible is so shallow that a mouse can wade in it, but so deep that an elephant can swim in it. And the same is true about the Mass. There's something to be learned just at a very surface level approach, and then there's more to be gained by diving deeper and deeper. And Abbot Jeremy has done a great job of writing a book that is useful to people at no matter what your understanding of the Mass is. Even if you've only ever just been to Mass and you've never learned anything else about it, this book will be helpful. And if you've spent years studying it, this book will also be helpful. So I highly recommend this one. Hopefully, we'll be able to put a link in the description somewhere. You'll be able to just click on it, and it'll take you to a page where you can find it. If not, if you just do a Google search for "What Happens at Mass," Jeremy Driscoll, it'll come up. It should come up no problem. The other resource that I want to recommend is from the Liturgical Institute at Mondeline. Mondeline is another seminary that Seattle sends guys to. I don't go there. I haven't been there, but I have lots of friends who have gone there. Great place, good faculty. Deacon Michael Barbarossa, who was here with me this summer, goes there. So really smart faculty. And they put together a series of YouTube videos really going in depth on individual parts of the Mass. Again, hopefully we'll be able to have a link in the description for this video, but if that doesn't work, just do a Google search for Liturgical Institute, Mondeline, Elements of the Catholic Mass, and it should pop up first result. But again, hopefully we'll be able to put a link in the description. And then finally, I just wanted to offer a very brief overview of some of the different names you might hear use to refer to the Mass. The name Mass, I'll actually go over in my bulletin article this week. So for the most commonly used one, refer to the bulletin. But for some of the other ones, I'm just going to talk over them, just a couple sentences, just in this video. So, and then of course there are others. This isn't an exclusive list. But you might hear the Mass referred to as the Eucharist, which is more common referring to the sacrament, to the actual consecrated host. That's the sacrament of the Eucharist. But you might hear this term Eucharist used to refer to the entire Mass. And this basically just tells us that the Mass is a celebration, it's a thanksgiving. We're giving thanks to God, specifically for God's works, for what He's done, creation, redemption, all of that. It's thanksgiving. You might also hear the Mass called the Lord's Supper. And this is because the Mass is connected with the Last Supper, the Lord's Last Supper on the eve of His Passion before He gave Himself up for us. But it also looks forward to the Lord's Supper in heaven, the wedding feast of the Lamb in heaven. Another name that you might hear for the Mass is the breaking of the bread, and this is particularly common in the early church. And this is because the disciples recognized Jesus after his resurrection in the breaking of the bread. Whenever he celebrated a meal with them, they recognized him in the breaking of the bread. And this also means that all who eat of this one broken bread, that is Christ, who is the bread come down from heaven, the bread of life, who was broken on the cross, when we eat of this one broken bread at communion, we become one body in him. That is, it unites us in him. Another name for the Mass that you might hear is a holy sacrifice. That's because the Mass makes present the one sacrifice of Christ on the cross, and that this sacrifice that happens at the Mass, that the sacrifice that is made present at the Mass, completes and surpasses all the sacrifices of the Old Testament. So those are just a few of the names that you might hear used to refer to the Mass. And of course, I'll go more in depth on the name Mass itself in my bulletin article this week. So once again, I just wanted to say thank you for welcoming me as best we could in this uncertain times of coronavirus and social distancing. Thank you for welcoming me to your parish. I've really enjoyed my time here at St. Joseph's. And I hope to come back during happier times, when we can greet each other. Hopefully, I'll be able to see you in person. If it didn't happen this summer, then next summer. And know that you will be in my prayers during this year of the Eucharist, that you will continue to grow in appreciation and understanding and love for the Eucharist and for the Mass.